venue at Wayville Showground in Adelaide in perfect weather conditions. The first heat comes your way now. Lee Adams, the defending dual winner of this Masters Series Championship, will line up in this event starting from the inside. Craig Boyce from Sydney. That is Jon Jorgensen you just saw in the yellow black cap. That is Sydney's Craig Boyce wearing green. He starts out of position number 5 in this event aboard the van man. Jower, Team Gresham Extreme entry. Starting on the extreme outside in black is Tony Primer, former New South Wales-based rider, now residing in Adelaide. Lee Adams over on the inside will be very tough to beat here. Mark Laram, the Englishman, also lines up in heat number 1. He'll wear the white helmet colour, starting out of position number 3. Other rider involved here is Nigel Sadler from Adelaide. Terrific field to get us underway with various countries on display. A 3-lap journey. I alluded to the way the points work a short time ago. The winner of each heat scores 5 points, 4 for second, 3 for third, 2, 1, 0. At the completion of 12 qualifying heats, the top 6 riders then transfer to the main event, the grand final. And speaking of grand finals, you're watching it now, the grand final of the 11-round International Speedway Masters Series for 1999. We're set to send them on their way. Very fast track at Wayville. The clutches fly, and so do the tapes. Lee Adams, the defending Masters Series champion on the inside, got a great start. Sydney's Craig Boyce very quickly into stride. That's him running in second, followed by Mark Laram. Lee Adams has already been able to open up a fairly sizable gap. Craig Boyce chipping away at him, though, as they head down the main section of this circuit. Between Adams and Boyce, they've won 3 of the 5 Masters Series championships conducted so far. And look at Lee Adams carving through the dirt on the Series 500 Jower. You're now looking at the battle for second and third. Sydney's Craig Boyce on the left-hand side of your screen. England's Mark Laram in third. They pour up the main straight again. Yellow flag on display. 1 lap of this Wayville Showground to negotiate. These bikes have no brakes. They're 500cc capacity, and they're running in excess of 150 kilometres an hour as they race down the back straight. Lee Adams is going to open his racing tonight in the best possible way. He takes the checkered flag and the 5 points. Second was Sydney's Craig Boyce. Third, England's Mark Laram, followed further back and forth by Nigel Sadler. Tony Primer was 5th, and Jon Jorgensen, the Dane, having a horror start to his night, whipping in the top 6. In the Wayville Showground, we now prepare for heat number 2 in the grand final of the Series 500 International Speedway Masters. That's the Californian Ronnie Corey on screen in the yellow-black helmet colour. On the other side of him is Mildura's Jason Lyons, the reigning overseas champion, rides for Bellevue in the British Elite League. In fact, he and Ronnie Corey, that man on screen, are teammates in English racing. Antonin Kasper from the Czech Republic lines up in this event. A sensational rider, Kasper. Wearing the blue helmet colour is Brett Woodfield from Adelaide. Had a pretty good season in England last year in 1998. Certainly a rider of the future. The second heat, another 3-lap journey. And obviously we saw Lee Adams creating a 3-lap track record, 55.48 in winning the opening heat. There is Antonin Kasper in black and white. He's had a very, very unlucky time in this series. He had food poisoning. He knocked himself unconscious at one meeting. Now we're seeing what he can really do. Rooney Holder, the Norwegian sensation, rides in red from the inside. Jason Hawks in blue out of gate number 2. Away they go, second qualifying heat in the grand final. And Antonin Kasper on the Villawood Truck Sales Jower got a magnificent start. He crossed from the outside so quickly, the riders on the inside of him almost caught pneumonia with the breeze. Look at the gap he's opened up already. It's the American Ronnie Corey running second. Let's see how they sort themselves out as they head up the main straight. Jason Lyons runs third on the circuit ahead of the Norwegian Rooney Holder. Jason Hawks is 5th and best of the rest on the circuit. Kasper very quickly carving his way through the dirt here. He's certainly no slouch on any size track, the Czech Republic champion. Ronnie Corey now starts to find himself under siege from his British teammate Jason Lyons, who's moving up on the inside. Meantime, Antonin Kasper, the race leader, has seen the yellow flag. There he goes, blasting down the back straight. He's only got about a half a lap now to negotiate. Jason Lyons has moved up into second spot. Rooney Holder's now moved up to third. That's about the way they're going to finish on this one. Great Great ride by Casper to get his evening's racing underway. He took the 5 points. Jason Lyons, 4 points in second. 3 points to Rooney Holter, the Norwegian, in third. Then Jason Hawkes, Brett Waterfield, and Ronnie Corey failing to finish as a result of mechanical failure. Gresham Extreme, Van Manjauer, one of the stars on display tonight. This is a great field. Well, there he is, Jason Crump. Mathematically, he's all but won this series. He can still be beaten tonight and therefore beaten in the outright championship. He'll need to have dreadful luck, and Lee Adams will need to have everything go right. That is young Travis McGowan currently on screen, former Australian junior champion, one of the top young talents in the country. Has ridden as a wild card in several rounds of this tournament and has done very well. That's Wiltshire. Let's watch the clutch. Tapes fly, away they go. Who was it? Jason Crump on the outside in the green helmet colour, got away very smartly. Oh, problem there. Travis McGowan has had a big crash midway between turns 1 and 2. I'd like to see that again. Got away okay too, not a bad start. He just got crossed up and lost control and shot himself across the top of the handlebars. Most importantly, he did emerge unscathed though. Start in heat number 3. He has been excluded, Travis McGowan, as a result of being deemed the cause of the stoppage, which was fair enough. Wiltshire on the inside. We get set to do it all over again. Waiting for the horsepower. Away they go, and Crump again. Crossing magnificently from the outside. Great start by him. Wiltshire in second. There goes Jason Crump. Has done quite superbly in this tournament so far. That is Joe Screen from England on the inside now, racing up to the rear wheel of Todd Wiltshire. Crump across the line. He's over the top of the handlebars as we take the pole cam shot for the first time in this event tonight. The first time in our telecast. Jason Crump across the top of the handlebars, almost road racing style. He's your leader. Todd Wiltshire under siege now from the Englishman Joe Screen. In fact, the 3 of these riders start to pack up a fair bit as they cross the start-finish line. Yellow flag on display. There goes Joe Screen now, up on the inside of Todd Wiltshire. He's now consolidated second. Crump's the leader. Look at Wiltshire and Screen. They're drag racing down the back straight. Terrific speedway. They're catching Crump too. Out of turn 4, the final time the Queenslander got there, the Englishman ran second. Great ride by Joe Screen. He's a never-say-die campaigner. Relegated Todd Wiltshire back to third on the line. Next home was Nathan Simpson, Scotty Smith, and of course McGowan not able to start the restart. Now it's heat number 4, another 3-lapper. This is the commencement of the second round of qualifying heats, and that is Jason Crump. He returns for battle here. Jason Hawkes now on camera in the blue helmet colour from Victoria, looking to establish himself overseas. That was Kevin Doolan in the green coming into this event as a reserve. That is Lee Adams, winner of his opening ride here tonight. Crump and Adams have already had success so far in their qualifying heats. Away they go. Crump out of gate number 2, got a great start. Look at England's Mark Laram now, the Suffolk Flyer. He races up into second on the circuit. They've been able to get rid of Lee Adams' challenge for the moment. It's really, really busy up front here as we see Crump and Laram all over one another. And here comes Lee Adams up on the inside. They are 3 wide as they blast back up the main section. We take the pole cam shot again on turn number 1, and Jason Crump has been able to stretch that lead somewhat. Mark Laram couldn't really stay with him, and Lee Adams furthermore has dropped back even further as they now come out of turn number 4. Yellow flag on display this time round. Jason Crump, you saw him clearly there, remove a tear off from his goggles with the left hand. They're 500cc bikes with no brakes, and half the time they're riding with one hand as they try to rectify their lack of visibility. Crump's going to emerge the victor in his second consecutive qualifying heat tonight. Great ride by the former World Under-21 champion. He takes it. Mark Laram was second, Lee Adams third, then Jason Hawkes. Doolan was fourth, Rusty Harrison. And that was the way they finished. A couple of riders out of that event, Scotty Smith and Ronnie Corey, due to mechanical problems, hence the reason Doolan and Harrison joined the fray, and 56.71 was a race time. In earnest, as we now prepare for battle in heat number 5. This series carrying record prize money for these riders, $180,000 odd. Jason Lyons in the blue helmet colour, hails from Mildura, has finished runner-up in the national championship, 3 or 4 times, if memory serves me correctly. Todd Wiltshire, that is him in the white and black helmet colour, a host of sponsors. That's because he's one of the most professional riders in World Speedway. Now we rejoin Jason Lyons on the starting grid. Antonin Kasper also returns for battle, bearing in mind he won the second qualifying heat tonight. Nigel Sadler engaged for duty here. Joe Screen, excellent field. Craig Boyce also, he starts in white. Craig Boyce in the centre of the racetrack. Joe Screen got a poor start on the inside in the red helmet colour. It was Antonin Kasper once again, the Czech champion. He's fairly flying here tonight, Kasper. And look at Joe Screen, Todd Wiltshire and Nigel Sadler too. Oh, there's no racing room there. Nigel Sadler's gone down, and so is Sydney's Craig Boyce. Sadler's down, not sure how it happened. Boyce is in a pretty bad way, just to the left of camera. We'll get another shot of that for you in a moment. Craig Boyce has not moved. A sensation here in the grand final of the Masters Series. Happy Jason Lyons. Let's take another look at it. Watch the right-hand side of screen. There is Sadler in the yellow-black. Now Lyons comes down. Oh, gee, I don't think he's even touched him. And Boyce had nowhere to go once he saw Nigel Sadler flung to the dirt in front of him. Well, looking at that, you'd suggest that Jason Lyons has probably been harshly dealt with. There is Craig Boyce, and the report from the scene is that he has serious back pain, and they think a dislocated shoulder, and he's being taken to Adelaide Hospital for x-rays and further examination. Dreadful luck for the Sydney sider, who's been a magnificent rider in this championship over many, many years. In fact, a magnificent rider right across the world. Heat number 5, and Craig Boyce has been taken to hospital by ambulance with a suspected dislocated shoulder and plenty of aches and pains, but essentially he is conscious and will be quite okay. Antonin Kasper, Nigel Sadler, Joe Screen, Todd Wiltshire are the riders to do battle here. Craig Boyce fallen, of course. Jason Lyons excluded. We showed you the replay a short time ago. I'm sure you formed your own opinion. I think that Lyons was a little harshly treated and probably was the wrong man excluded, which is unfortunate for him on such a prestige night. There's Antonin Kasper, the winner of his opening heat, and was leading that race before it was stopped. Joe Screen from England on the inside, the Czech in the centre, then the Adelaide rider, Nigel Sadler and Todd Wiltshire on the outside. We get them underway again. And for the second time in succession, Antonin Kasper, the Czech champ, got a beautiful start. What a ride by Nigel Sadler. He almost knocked himself out, crashing at the first attempt at running this race, and he's now up running second. England's Joe Screen is third, and remarkably, Todd Wiltshire is tailed off at the back of the pack. And I remind you, Todd Wiltshire is very much in series contention, certainly is battling for the runner-up spot in the championship outright. Look at Antonin Kasper down the back straight. He even had time for a sneaky peek over the left shoulder. Now Joe Screen starts to size Nigel Sadler up on the outside. He thought twice about that though, and decided to come back on the low line. One lap of the Wavell Showground to run, well in excess of 500 metres around the pole line here. Well in excess of 150 kilometres an hour for these 500cc bikes. And Kasper's going to get home, and that's a terrific way for him to continue his great form here tonight. Kasper across the line, Screen coming quickly at Sadler. Across the line, Sadler was awarded second. Very close, Joe Screen third, and Todd Wiltshire at the back of the pack. And look at the jubilation by the Czech Antonin Kasper. Now it's heat number 6, another 3-lap journey. John Jorgensen, Brett Waterfield, Tony Primer, Travis McGowan, Nathan Simpson, and Rooney Holter. That is your field here. That rider is Nathan Simpson, whose back wheel you're now looking at. Hails from Adelaide. He'll wear the green helmet colour. On the outside is the sensational Rooney Holter. And there is the official crowd figure for tonight's grand finale. 10,764 people packed into this wonderful venue. Just look at the lighting, will you? Absolutely world class. Jorgensen, the Scandinavian champion from Denmark, on the inside of the red helmet colour. Should prove too strong here. He got a gun start from the inside. When the tapes flew, he was already rolling forward. Let's see how it pans out as they race down the back straight the first time round. Brett Waterfield runs second. Now moving up into third is Nathan Simpson, the youngster. Here comes Rooney Holder now, the Norwegian. He runs fourth. He's moved from the outside to the inside. He might try and secure second on the racetrack here. Holder, to me, is just starting to run out of engines now. It's been a long, tough tour. He's been absolutely sensational. But tonight, he's just a little down on horsepower to what we've become accustomed to over the last month or so on this series. Oh, he gets into trouble, the Norwegian. Midway between turns 3 and 4, he got a little crossed up, threw the bike down. He'll get up. I'm sure that he won't be injured in any way. I don't even think the bike's going to be too badly damaged. But that is disgracefully bad luck for Holder. The man I was just telling you about, he has run out of luck in the most important meeting. And that race didn't have far to go. It has been officially declared with Jon Jorgensen, the Danish champion, as the victor. There's another look at it for you as Holder goes down, and he would be very unhappy about that. Now it's heat number 7. We're about halfway through the program. And over on the inside, wearing the red helmet colour, is Travis McGowan from Mildura in Victoria. 16 years of age, adamant he's going to be a professional speedway rider in Europe. That should certainly happen in the near future. Antonin Kasper, the Czech champ, returns for battle on the Villawood Truck Sales Jower. Builds all of his own engines, in fact, has a very big business in the Czech Republic with engine tuning and preparation. He looks after many other riders' engines. He's also a property developer in Prague, as well as being a professional speedway rider, which he makes a very substantial income out of. So he's a busy entrepreneurial character. Scotty Smith rides in blue out of gate number 2. Rooney Holder returns, the Norwegian. He wears white out of gate number 3. A good-looking field here. Simpson also involved. This completes the second round of qualifying heats. Heat number 6, they're underway, and it was Lee Adams this time round, the Mildura flyer. The former World Under-21 champion got a magnificent start. Down the back straight he races. He's already a clear-cut race leader. Nigel Sadler runs second on the circuit. That's Antonin Kasper, the Czech champion, up running third. He did skate high up on the circuit there, and that enables Rooney Holder, the Norwegian, to slingshot through in the centre. Great speed shot as we take pole cam on turns number 1 and 2. Now Sadler racing by on the outside of Rooney Holder. It's getting pretty serious for second and third. Meantime, the Victorian Lee Adams, who I was about to tell you, he's done plenty in World Speedway. Former World Under-21 champion. He's won this tournament twice. He's a 4-time Australian champion, Commonwealth champion. He's been there and done just about everything in the sport. And look at him ripping down the back straight, going like greased lightning. Now Sadler and Holder having a boomer of a battle. Further back, oh, this time Sadler's done what Holder did the race before. Nigel Sadler's dropped the bike. Lee Adams takes the victory. The checkered flag unfolds in heat number 7. Rooney Holder was second, Antonin Kasper third, then McGowan, and Sadler falling. Well, time 57.74. Heats in this grand final. Lee Adams and Antonin Kasper, the latter from the Czech Republic, on 13 points. Jason Crump 10, Joe Screen and Mark Laram 7. Please note, Crump, Screen and Laram have a race in hand. In other words, Adams and Kasper have already had 3 starts. That does not apply to the others, but they certainly are the 5 riders most on track at this stage of proceedings for a grand final start here tonight in the A final, where the maximum points is up for grabs, and of course the championship will be decided. We now commence our coverage with heat number 8, and once again, as you'd expect in this series, a fabulous field to do battle. There is Jason Crump on the O'Brien Aluminium Speedway Racing News Magazine GM. Coming in beside him is Brett Woodfield, a young Aussie trying to make a name for himself on the international speedway scene. He'll ride in the green helmet colour. That now is Joe Screen from Chesterfield in the UK, riding the Coney Shock Absorbers GM. On the outside of him is the dashing Dane, Jon Jorgensen, the reigning Scandinavian champion. He'll wear the black helmet colour. Now back with Jason Crump. Magnificent camera work on the start line. And once again, this to be a 3-lap journey. 12 qualifying heats in total before each rider is seated in his respective finals. Heat number 8, a touch over the halfway mark in qualifying. There's Ronnie Corey, the American from California. Tapes fly, good even start in heat number 8. Jason Crump got away brilliantly in the centre. Also quickly into stride was the Englishman Joe Screen. As they head down the back straight the first time, it's Crump on the outside, Joe Screen on the inside. And they are only separated by metres. Here comes the Englishman now storming up on the inside. Brett Woodfield. Brett Woodfield hits the deck on turns 3 and 4 the first time round. The local South Australian rider has dropped it. We'll take another look at that for you. He is A-OK though, Woodfield. He is conscious and moving around as that picture demonstrates. Undoubtedly winded, a fairly nasty crash. Now watch Woodfield on the right-hand side of your screen. That's Crump and Joe Screen up front running first and second. Watch the right-hand side of your picture now. You'll see Woodfield. There he is, getting it all wrong into turns 3 and 4. And it's got to be said, the racetrack very unpredictable. So now we come back with a full race restart in heat number 8. 5 points up for grabs here to the winner. 4 for second, 3 for third, and so on. At the completion of 12 qualifying heats, the top 6 point scorers transfer to the main event, the A final. There is Ronnie Corey, 5-time world finalist, former World Team Cup and World Pairs champion, ironically riding Craig Boyce's spare machine, the Van Man. Team Extreme entry, set to get them underway again. Who will it be this time round? Crump and Joe Screen were very smartly away the first time we tried to run heat number 8. This time it's Ronnie Corey, the American, showing good speed on the borrowed bike. He's been plagued by constant mechanical failure. Look at Jason Crump winding it up on the inside in the white helmet colour. The Queenslander on the O'Brien Aluminium GM has taken the race lead. Poor old Ronnie Corey has been bumped from first back to third in the space of half a lap. Joe Screen has moved up one more spot too. That's the Englishman hard at work over the top of the Coney Shock Absorbers GM, the former British champion and former World Under-21 champion. In fact, the leader and the man running second on the circuit are both former World Under-21 title holders, Jason Crump and Joe Screen. They're inside the last racing lap now, and Crump, look at the acceleration of his motorcycle. He's absolutely careering away now, Crump. Oh, he did lose his balance there as he headed through turn 3. That slowed him up just a touch. Screen moves us a little bit closer, but Crump takes victory in heat number 8. Joe Screen home in second, then Ronnie Corey, Jon Jorgensen in a racing time of 57.83 seconds. Well, Jason Crump absolutely on fire tonight. There's Mark Laram, the 1997 Danish Grand Prix champion on the Series 500 Jawa. Also a former British champion. He'll ride in green from gate number 5 in this event. Qualifying heat number 9, Nathan Simpson, the local Adelaide rider, to line up here. Tony Primmer, former New South Welshman, now based in Adelaide, also takes part in this heat, as does Jason Hawkes, Jason Lyons. That is the field. Good sprinkling of international talent, combining several of Australia's hard young chargers. There's Jason Lyons, Mr. Consistent. He's a tough campaigner. Has finished runner-up in the Australian Championship. Goodness knows how many times. I think it's 4 now. And he is the reigning overseas champion, rides for Bellevue in the British Elite League. That is Nathan Simpson. He has the honour of starting from gate number 1 in the red helmet colour here in heat number 9. Fabulous pictures coming away from the plush Wayville Showground in Adelaide. Well in excess of 10,000 people in tonight for the grand final. Todd Wiltshire in the centre, worth watching here. Clutches fly, so too to the tapes, and they charge now towards the first corner. Who will it be? Great start on the inside by young Nathan Simpson, the Adelaide rider. This could be a boil over. Look at Todd Wiltshire now. He's driving up on the inside, and Mark Laram is third. Through turns 3 and 4, Mark Laram has hit the deck. Oh, he went in very hard there too, slammed his back on the concrete wall. No need for red flag conditions though. Laram has been able to get himself up off the track and move himself out of harm's way. Subsequently, the race continues, and Simpson, meantime, surrenders the lead to the vastly experienced Todd Wiltshire, the former world number 3 on the skilled engineering team Gresham Extreme Van Man Jower. He has taken the lead as he blasts down the main straight, sees the yellow flag on display. I'll tell you what, Nathan Simpson making one heck of a race out of this, the Adelaide youngster. He's in second and not too far away from that man, Todd Wiltshire. Just as I say that, Wiltshire starts to extend the break though. Off turn 4 for the final time, the checkered flag unfolds, and Wiltshire takes the victory. Magnificent performance there. He certainly had to work for it. Nathan Simpson, what a ride by him in second. Tony Primmer was third, then Jason Hawkes and Jason Lyons. Mark Laram unable to complete the journey. The time was 59.13. Now it's heat number 10. Lee Adams returns for battle. He won his last heat here tonight. In pretty good form. There he is on the Series 500 car care products. Fraser's Imports Jower. Fully sponsored by the Jower factory. A former World Under-21 champion, former Commonwealth champion, 4 times and reigning Australian champion, 2 times and reigning Masters Series champion, one of the all-time greats of the sport. That is Jon Jorgensen from Denmark, reigning Scandinavian title holder, vastly experienced rider in his mid-30s aboard the Champ Oil Filters GM. No slouch, not really a fan of these big, sprawling, wide racetracks. He did finish on the podium at the Rockhampton round of this series. He's, well, really more suited to the traditional 300 or 400 metre venues. That is the right boot of Mark Laram from England. And now you're looking at Nigel Sadler, the reigning Australian under-21 champion. Very much a rider of the future. Terrific field here in heat number 10. Adams, Sadler, Laram, Tony Primer, Jon Jorgensen, and Kevin Doolan, the reserve, is called up for duty here in heat number 10. That's him starting out of gate 2 in the blue helmet colour. Away they go. A pearler of a start on the extreme outside by Nigel Sadler. Lee Adams also quickly away. Look at Jon Jorgensen, the Dane, skating up hard on the circuit. He runs third. They're fairly tightly packed as they charge down the back straight the first time. Sadler got into trouble there. Lee Adams got the opportunity he was looking for, and he went whooshka straight up on the inside and has taken the lead. We take pole cam as they now sweep through turns 1 and 2 again. Nigel Sadler has been relegated back to second. Look at Lee Adams churning through the dirt. He really is poetry in motion. He's known as the Book in Speedway racing. That's his nickname because of his classical, relaxed, smooth style on the bike. He races up the main straight, yellow flag on display. 1 to run at the Wayville Showground. Nigel Sadler is still tucked away in second spot. Third on the circuit is Mark Laram, but this one belongs to Lee Adams. He's going to emerge a comprehensive victory here. And the 2 times and defending Masters Series champion sees the checkered flag, takes it comfortably. Nigel Sadler in second, not a bad ride from him. Mark Laram third. Tony Primer got fourth on the line ahead of Jorgensen, and Doolan was last in a time of 59.17. And it's now the penultimate qualifying heat. Heat number 11, Jason Lyons from Mildura, Ronnie Corey from California, Antonin Kasper from Prague in the Czech Republic, Rudy Holter from Norway, Brett Waterfield from Adelaide, and Jason Hawkes also from Mildura are the 6 riders to do battle here. Heat number 11. There's Holter, Containers Packaging GM. What a rider, what a revelation he's been in this tournament. Not just this year, but indeed last year too. Has been a regular A finalist, an outstanding performer. Along with Joe Screen, Rooney Holder has been the pick of the foreigners in this tournament at the completion of 10 rounds. You're watching the 11th and final round of the 1999 5th Anniversary Masters Series. Come the other riders, the other contestants in heat number 11. That is Jason Hawkes. He's a rider with a future, desperate to sign with an English club to go racing in the Elite League. Brett Waterfield is already there. Here's Kasper now. He is the reigning Continental and Czech Republic champion, the Villawood Truck Sales Jower. Very experienced rider, one of the top in the world. Will represent his country in the upcoming World Grand Prix Series. Away we go. Kasper got a pretty good start over on the inside. Also Jason Lyons. What a start he got from the extreme outside in the black helmet colour. The reigning overseas champion heads down the back straight full of running. I guess he'd lead Kasper by 3 or 4 metres. Panning back through the field. Oh, another one's dropped it on turn 3. This time it's Jason Hawkes, the Victorian. Jason Hawkes, the Victorian's dropped it. That will certainly bring out the red flags. They'll have to get off the throttle here. He's not going to get off the track. He's tangled up with his motorcycle. Holter and Kasper acknowledging the fact that they've seen the flags and the red lights. Now we come back for a full race restart in heat number 11. You're looking at Rooney Holter, Antonin Kasper, Brett Waterfield riding in the blue helmet colour, Jason Lyons on the extreme outside in the black helmet colour. Was very quick away at the first time of asking tonight, and Jason Lyons has done it again. There's a fair bit of spongy dirt up high on the circuit, and he's using it to a nicety. This time, though, California's Ronnie Corey races into second spot. Ironically, he and the leader, Jason Lyons, despite the fact they are Australian and American respectively, are teammates for the Bellevue Aces in the British Elite League. Look at that pole cam shot, will you, as they slide through turns 1 and 2. It certainly reflects the speed, doesn't it? And look at the speed of Ronnie Corey. He's trying very hard to bridge the gap between he and the man up front. Of course, I refer to Jason Lyons in the black helmet colour. There he is now, Jason Lyons at work in the office. He races down the main straight, yellow flag on display. Ronnie Corey, I remind you, is riding spare machinery tonight. He's riding Craig Boyce's spare bike. Boyce, if you didn't catch our action earlier in the program, was taken to hospital with a dislocated shoulder after a crash in one of the early heats. Across the line comes Jason Lyons. He takes the victory. Second was the American Corey. Antonin Casper continues with his good scoring here tonight. He finished third ahead of a disappointing Rooney Holder. Woodfield was next, and of course Hawkes not finishing the journey. Now it's the final qualifying heat in the grand final of the Series 500 International Speedway Masters. What a field here. Jason Crump, Todd Wiltshire, Joe Screen, Nathan Simpson. A couple of reserve riders into the action too. Rusty Harrison and Travis McGowan. Due to the demise of some of the regulars, such has been the attrition here tonight. That is the mega professional and multi-talented Todd Wiltshire. The van man, skilled Team Gresham Extreme Jower. That is Rusty Harrison. He's a rider of the future. Write that name down in your black book. He will be one of the stars of events like this in the years to come. That is the familiar back wheel of Jason Crump, the wheel that transfers the enormous horsepower generated by his Klaus Laus tuned engines. Set for a start now. Tapes fly in heat number 12, and Crump got a beautiful start out of gate number 2. Let's see how the other riders charge through turns 1 and 2. It's Todd Wiltshire up running second. He's under siege from a flying Joe Screen though. Gee, the Englishman's a trier, isn't he? He's a never-say-die competitor, the former World Under-21 champion from Chesterfield in the UK. He's back running third. The order at the end of the first racing lap is Jason Crump, Todd Wiltshire, Joe Screen. That's the top 3 on the circuit for you. Another magnificent pole cam shot as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. It certainly gives you a very good idea of the speed, doesn't it? Jason Crump is looking for yet another victory here. If he can win this heat, and it's looking very much as though he's going to, he certainly will qualify for the main event here tonight as the top man, undefeated at the completion of all of his qualifying rides. Jason Crump, this will be his 4th start tonight, and most certainly his 4th win. That will give him 20 qualifying points. A great performance by Crump across the line, and he does it with a wheel stand. How good is he? Todd Wiltshire in second, Joe Screen third, Nathan Simpson was 4th, then Rusty Harrison and Travis McGowan. 58.46 the time. Thanks for joining us at Wayville Showground and the grand final of the Series 500 International Speedway Masters. We now advance to the C final for those riders that qualified from positions 13 through to 18 at the completion of the 12 qualifying heats. Ronnie Corey, who's had a terrible night tonight mechanically, has been swapping motorcycles, finds himself riding Craig Boyce's spare machine, is the big name star in this C final. I don't think he'd be too happy with that. Travis McGowan, Brett Woodfield, Harrison, Doolan and Stewart. A number of reserves have had the call up here as we get them underway. 3-lap C final in the Skill Dual Flexible Workforce Final Series. And Ronnie Corey should be too good for them here. He's had a ton of experience, the 5 times world finalist and former World Team Cup and World Pairs champion. Currently young Travis McGowan, another rider that Mildura has bred. He runs up in second. Look at the pole cam shot as they slide through turns 1 and 2 again. McGowan up running second. Third on the circuit is Brett Woodfield. That is Ronnie Corey aboard the Team Gresham Extreme motorcycle, owned and normally ridden by Sydney's Craig Boyce. Corey certainly getting the job done here. McGowan is still second, Brett Woodfield third, although he finds himself under increasing pressure from Rusty Harrison, who's one of Australian Speedway's rising stars. Look at the speed of Ronnie Corey down the back straight. He's looking fairly rapid at speeds in excess of 150 kilometres an hour. He's certainly going to take victory in the C final. The American, the checkered flag unfolds for him. Far too good for them in the C final, which was fairly predictable. Travis McGowan in second, Brett Woodfield was third, then Harrison, Doolan and Stewart. Time 58.84 seconds. Now the B final, and some big points up for grabs here. I'm of the opinion, as I said earlier, irrespective of what happens here, that Rooney Holder will finish 5th outright in the Series 500 Championship for 1999. That is Tony Primer. What a job he's done on debut here tonight, riding in this event at Wayville Showground to qualify himself in the B final for those riders that managed to qualify between positions 7 and 12. Jon Jorgensen, the dashing Dane in the black and yellow helmet colour. That is Nigel Sadler. He'll start in the white helmet colour in the centre of the racetrack. Holter, Jorgensen, Mark Laram, Nigel Sadler, Tony Primer, and Nathan Simpson, who's also done marvellously well to qualify for this B final. There's the Series 500 Car Care Products Jawa, ridden by Mark Laram. Nigel Sadler, Mark Laram, study of concentration. The second last race in the 1999 International Speedway Masters Series. What an event it's been. Jon Jorgensen preparing himself for 3 laps of fury, kicking the racetrack, trying to decide where exactly he's going to place his back wheel when the clutches fly. All of that horsepower, about 85 horsepower, is transferred to the ground. These bikes accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1 second. They only weigh 80 kilograms. Very impressive power to weight ratio. In fact, there's more horsepower than there is weight. 85 horsepower and about 80 kilos of weight, including the fuel tank, which only holds a touch over a litre. 500cc bikes with no brakes. And we're set for a start in the B final. As they got away fairly nicely, Mark Laram leaning over, or leaning on the man on the inside who got a very bad start, Nathan Simpson. Not sure what went wrong there. Nothing went wrong for the dashing Norwegian, though. Rooney Holder, he races down the back straight, a clear-cut race leader. Oh, look at Mark Laram, almost overcooked it there as he raced by on the outside of Jon Jorgensen from Denmark. Laram had to get off the horsepower momentarily. He was in awful trouble then, the Englishman. Quite miraculous that he was able to hang on to it. There's Rooney Holder over the top of the handlebars, throttle wide open, and he's racing away and certainly going to score victory in the B final, and as a result assure himself a 5th place in the championship outright. That was Jon Jorgensen, great speed shot as he rocketed down the main straight. There is Rooney Holder though. Look at him go on the containers packaging GM. He spread eagles them down the back straight. He's going to be far too good here. Got a beautiful start and no one can even get close to him. Off turn 4, and that's a fitting way for his series to end. He's been a great rider, Rooney Holder, in this tournament. A great rider, and he got the job done there in a racing time of 58.16. And he's still going quickly out there, Rooney Holder. I'm not sure he knows the race is over. It all comes down to this. Lee Adams, what a performance by him on the Series 500 Fraser's Imports Jawa. Hard to imagine anybody defeating Jason Crump in this race. He's starting from the extreme outside gate, number 6. And that clearly is the place to be. You can see all the loose, spongy dirt up high on the circuit. It will give him maximum traction when the tapes fly. And there he is, Crump, on the O'Brien Aluminium Speedway Racing News Magazine GM. A thoroughly deserving champion, a deserving winner of this series crown in 1999. He is the first rider in the history of this series to qualify for every A final throughout the 11-round series. No other rider has ever achieved that in the previous 4 years that this series has been staged. Todd Wiltshire on the Team Gresham Extreme Skilled Engineering Van Man Jawa rides in the white helmet colour from the centre of the racetrack. Gee, it's a great field here. 6 fabulous riders, absolutely outstanding riders, all of whom are full-time professionals on the world stage. You can almost hear a pin drop here. There is silence. This 10,500 strong crowd wait with eager anticipation for this race, the biggest race on the Australian Speedway motorcycling calendar this year. Joe Screen, Coney Shock Absorbers, GM. What a rider he's been. Is very much in contention for a podium finish here. The point score between Adams, Wiltshire and Screen is intense. The battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Antonin Casper, great rider, set for a start in the main event of the grand final for 1999. Waiting for them. Tapes fly, away they go. Wiltshire, a terrific start from the centre. Jason Crump, how did he get away? Reasonably good on the outside. Lee Adams quickly in his stride. Jason Lyons also a good start. It's Todd Wiltshire leading them down the back straight the first time round. Jason Lyons in second. Oh, Lyons and Adams. They both going big time. midway between turns 3 and 4. Lyons was the first man to go. A terrible crash here in the main event of the grand final for 1999. Adams is up and quite okay. I can't understand that. He's done the big Superman, Lee Adams, and flown through the air. Another look at it. Watch Lyons in the red helmet colour in the centre of your screen. And just to the right of him, Lee Adams in the green helmet colour. Lyons gets all crossed up. Oh boy, lands on his head. Adams had nowhere to go. Oh boy. And Adams goes face first into the dirt here at Wayville. Now super slow-mo. Another look at it. Lyons just out of control, and look at that. Gee, he's lucky. That would hurt. And look at Adams now coming in, clips the motorcycle, and just flies through the air. Terrible crash, probably the second worst crash I can remember in the history of this series. And Lee Adams, very lucky, a miraculous escape from a spectacular accident like that. He and Jason Lyons have both emerged seemingly unscathed. There is Adams. Now the question is, can he remount, get on his spare bike, and rejoin the field here for the running? It will be a full race restart. In the main event of this grand final, there is Lyons. He has been excluded according to the tournament referee, Gavin Wilson. He's been deemed the cause of the stoppage. And looking at those replays, that would seem to be the case. Now, Lee Adams, talk about courage. He has managed to clamber onto his spare bike and is going to take his place out of gate 5 here for the full race rerun in the main event of the grand final. Crump on the outside. Set for a start. Screen on the inside. Wiltshire beside him. Waiting for the tapes now. 3 laps separating Jason Crump from the championship. He got a beautiful start, the Queenslander Jason Crump. I don't know if they'll catch him from there. Jason Crump is ploughing through the dirt. A beautiful start by him. Todd Wiltshire's second. Here comes Joe Screen, though. The Englishman on the inside, he runs third. And Todd Wiltshire getting fairly close to the back of Jason Crump's bike. Joe Screen, meantime, goes up into second. Crump's the leader, Screen's in second. Followed further back in third by Todd Wiltshire. And Lee Adams is fourth as they head down the back straight. Can the Englishman do anything about Jason Crump? Joe Screen winding it up for an inside pass. Crump knows he's there, though. He has a look over the left shoulder. Up the main straight they run. There's 1 lap of the Wayville Showground to run. And Jason Crump is about 3/4 of a lap away from winning the 1999 Masters Series. It's been a magnificent performance by him from the moment they said go in this tournament 5 weeks ago. Jason Crump is the 1999 Series 500 champion. Across the line he takes it. A great performance by the Queenslander. Second to the checkered flag will be Joe Screen. Third, Todd Wiltshire, Lee Adams, and then Antonin Casper, with Jason Lyons being excluded from the event. Well, Jason Crump has won the 1999 Masters Series Championship. He's delighted about that. The time, by the way, 58.86. I thought Joe Screen was going to get him, but Crump, displaying the arrogance, the class, the talent, the focus, the enthusiasm, the natural ability, was able to fend off the challenge of the dashing Englishman. There is the top point scorers for you at the completion of 11 rounds.